Hey guys, it's Cole, and it is the 27th of January or 27th of July at like 6:30 at night, and it's been a really long time since I've made a video for many reasons. The first biggest reason is that I have a new job, and it requires a lot of time, and it's kind of far away from like where I live, so there's a lot of commuting, and I just don't like have the time, to sit down and make videos. And also, I've been really busy with the book series that I'm writing. I've been working very, very, very hard every weekend, spending between 10 and 18 hours writing and creating this book that I've also been working on for the last 7 years. And I've just been kind of like taking it really seriously. Not only that, but we have a full house or a full apartment here. I have my best friend staying with me, and Cole, and we have a dog, Leonard. For those of you that know us, he is back and he's great, and I love him. So yeah, really, I would say that not a lot has changed, but kind of a lot has changed. As far as being trans, nothing has changed. I still take testosterone, and I am still, growing body hair, and my hairline is they're receding, as you can see. That's obviously expected, but has been a little bit difficult for me to accept. I'm not overly worried about losing my hair. I mean, I would say, for the most part, I have an okay head shape, but it's just something that is weird for me. And most trans people, or trans guys, I'd say it's a weird thing, to go from having a nice head of hair to not having as much, or any, or watching it change is kind of weird as well. But it's other than that, nothing has changed. I'm still really skinny. I might have put on a couple pounds. I've been working out. Um, Not as hard as I should, but I'm trying to at least keep it more regular. And I think for me, the hardest part about working out is my own fear, and just going. Going to the gym is kind of a high anxiety situation for me. I feel like people are looking at me, and I can't tell if that's my own insecurity or if it's actually happening. Um, and if it is, I don't know why. So, and because I am so skinny, I get nervous going to the gym and working hard because I feel like people are judging me, and like, I see these guys that are big, and I know this sounds really cliche, but it's true. Like, I see guys that just have muscle, and I'm so weak looking, so it's kind of like it's difficult. But that aside, um, a lot has changed. We are in the same place. We're moving in September, like the at the end of September, closer to my new job, which would be great because the commute is like minimum for me 45 minutes, maximum 2 hours, and that's just once, and I do that twice a day. So it takes a lot out of me. But yeah, so we'll be moving, and that'll be good to have more space and be closer to work. Um, let's see. Things that are different. I have lost hearing in my left ear. I got really sick in December, and I was sick for about a month. And I guess I got a virus, like a normal virus. I guess this can happen to anybody, where you get like an upper respiratory infection, and the virus attacks the nerves in your ears that allow you to hear. And it is not common, but it can happen. And I guess it happened to me, and I lost 60% of my hearing in my left ear, and it's permanent. It won't come back. I can get a hearing aid, but I can't decide if that's something that I want to do for my own personal reasons. But yeah, it was kind of a shitty situation. I was told that my hearing would improve as I got better, but they couldn't put me on antibiotics because it wasn't a bacterial infection. It was a viral infection. So I had to wait. Well, they told me to wait it out. I went to two doctors and a nurse. I like called the nurse, and because my primary was on maternity leave, so I couldn't see her. And because I had been told by two previous doctors to wait it out, I didn't go to a third. I just waited for her to return. So I waited for her to return, and that was at 3 months. And I told her what was going on, and she basically was like, "What the heck? Why haven't you been, referred to an ENT?" And so she referred me to an audiologist, and then an ENT. And the audiologist said, "I think you have sudden sensorineural hearing loss," which is long words for you can't hear. And I was like, "Cool, can you fix it?" And she was like, "No, because it's been too long." She was like, "If you didn't wait so long, maybe." And I was like, I was told to wait by three different people. And it turns out that if I hadn't have waited and I had gone in like if I had asked for a referral or if I had been given a referral within a month, I would have had my hearing repaired. But I didn't because I was told that it was nothing and it would come back. And so I waited, and now it's permanent. So, kind of annoyed because it's affected a lot of what I do. It's not the end of the world. I'm not angry at anybody. It just kind of sucks because they say so. I have 40% of my hearing, but that literally means nothing. Like 40% of my hearing isn't like I hear 60% quieter. It's that anything that I can hear sounds like when you're changing, like when you're sifting through the channels on a radio. It's like that static in between channels. I can't make out what anybody's saying. It sounds garbled, like very robotic. I have a constant ringing in my ear that never goes away. So it's basically I have one ear that hears actually perfectly. So it's impacted me in the sense that like it's harder for me to play guitar. It's harder for me to tune. I can't go anywhere that's super loud because this one ear takes the brunt of it. So I get very overwhelmed very quickly because if there's a room full of people talking, it all sounds like static. I can't hear anything. So I haven't really gone to shows, and when I do go to shows, I have to wear earplugs. And when I don't wear earplugs, I can't hear anything, and when I do, I can't hear anything. So, yeah, that's basically what I've been dealing with. I also got diagnosed with non-celiac gluten intolerance, which I guess is a real diagnosis, but I don't have celiac. But it turns out that what has made me sick for 27 years is gluten, which makes sense because I'm very, very allergic to grass and pollen. It makes me break out in hives, and I get asthma attacks and really itchy eyes and like throat, like not swells, but it like gets really scratchy when I'm around grass. And I had no idea. I never even considered cutting gluten out of my diet. I was among the group of people that kind of believed that unless you didn't have celiac disease, that you were like being over dramatic, which is a really shitty way to think. But I guess I have to be honest with myself. I can't lie. I did think that way. Probably just because I was gullible and listened. I wanted to make fun of people. I guess I don't know. I don't know why I thought that way. I didn't make fun of people, but like, if somebody was like, "Oh, I can't. I'm gluten intolerant," I would be like, okay. Um, and not everybody, but some, I don't know, I don't know. I just, those were the thoughts that went through my head. And I guess karma, I guess, because since basically what led me to this is that, I got really sick. I feel like I always just get like, well, here's the thing. I have always been really, really, really sick. And like nothing terminal, but like very limited. I was diagnosed with IBS, and I just, all of these things, I always felt nauseous. I always had really bad shits and stomach aches, and I had joint pain and skin pain. Like my skin, I can't even explain it. It's not that my skin like felt like a bruise, but it felt like it hurt to like touch, and not all the time. Like, sorry, one or two. So it would hurt to like touch, um, and yeah, my joint. I thought I had fibro too. Like all of these things, I thought that I had all of these different issues because I was just in. I was in bed like sick at least like once every 2 weeks for 1 to 3 days, and I couldn't gain weight, and I was dizzy, and I was tired, and my skin itched, and I just felt like garbage. Basically what I told my doctor is I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm shitting blood, and I'm in this mental place where I feel like, what's the point of life if this is how I'm going to feel? Like, I wasn't depressed. Like, I wasn't like clinically depressed, but I was definitely depressed, and I didn't even realize it. Like, I would lay in bed sick and just go, what's the point? Like, why am I alive? I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be alive if this is what every day is going to feel like for the rest of my life. And just that thought alone was enough to like make me want to cry, and to know that like it was something as simple as bread and wheat and gluten, like that's what was doing it, because she put me on this elimination diet and I cut out gluten, and within 3 days, it was the only thing I ended up cutting out of my diet actually. Excuse me. Within 3 days, I started to poop normally. Within 2 weeks, like 80% of the symptoms that I had had for as long as I can remember went away. And that was a few months ago. But since then, I haven't had any issues. I haven't had a flare up. I don't have excessive TMI, excessive smelly gas. I don't shit blood. I don't get nauseous. My joints don't hurt. I don't have dizziness. I don't have fatigue. I don't get headaches. I don't wake up sweating even despite the heat, I don't wake up in a pool of my own sweat. Like, I would have cold sweats. I would wake up every morning covered in sweat, and I was just thought it was hormones, and it probably was, but that doesn't happen anymore. And gluten's the only thing I've cut out, and I did it cold turkey. I didn't just cut it out, and it was definitely the I feel so lucky, that that's what it was, and it wasn't something sinister. It was just don't eat gluten, and I'm like, cool, and I know like gluten isn't bad. I know that, it's not evil. It's not going to hurt you unless you have celiac disease or you're gluten intolerant. And my boyfriend, he makes homemade sourdough bread like every week, multiple times a week. It smells so good in my house all the time, and I can't eat it. It sucks. I wish I could, but it's an easy price to pay for having 100% better life. So definitely better in that regard. I might look still skinny to you, but I've put on a couple pounds, which is huge for me because I haven't been able to gain weight in years. I mean, still not like this arm is weak as fuck. I'm like shaking, but you know, I'm trying to gain weight. Is my point, and it's working, and it's great, and overall everything is really good, and I feel like I've had a lot of luck this year, even though I can't eat gluten and I have one ear. I can hear out of one ear. It's this, especially this job that I have, has changed my life, and I am so grateful every single day that they chose to offer me this position. It has transformed every part of my life, and it's kind of sad that having a good job that pays you well, very well, like can like I wish everybody could have that, and but it's enabled me to help my best friend get him back on his feet, and it's like I have money now. I have money to help the people that I love. They need something, and I can do it, and it's like no big deal, because what's money, like if you're taken care of and you have the things that you need and you're comfortable, that extra, like that's I just feel really lucky that I can do that. That I can be like, oh, you need help, I can help. Oh, we need more groceries and you can't afford it, well, let me buy them. Being able to do those things makes me really happy, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without this job that I have. So that's basically what's been going on with me. And if you're still following me and you're watching this and you're still watching it, thank you. And I can't promise you that I'll update next week, but I'll try and be more consistent, and just kind of let you know what's going on with my life and any updates as they come. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you next time.